But you took a lower paying job voluntarily to come to work in Dixon so you'd have more access to your children.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what were you making at the prior job?
At my prior job, I was on salary. I think I was making around 840 gross a week before taxes.
Okay. The prior child support obligation was calculated using that income, though?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the only change has been that you voluntarily took a lower paying job?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Powers, anything further?
No, sir, I believe that's everything, Judge.
How is this any different than a man who becomes voluntarily underemployed?
I didn't see any difference, Judge.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, y'all. Right? We got something pretty good, man. We got a judge trying to set this lady straight. Because she decided to say, hey, man, listen, I need a child support reduction, right? I need a child support reduction. I need this pay to be reduced because guess what? Right? I got a lower paying job. Now, she voluntarily took a lower paying job. Now, you see plenty of fathers out here day in and day out, making sure, man, that they can sit over here and pay the child support, pay to take care of their own kid, pay to sit over here and see their own kid, because if they don't pay, they go to jail, right? So they sit over here and get multiple jobs. We had a whole video, and I mean, once again, man, we always got to see it, but we got a whole lot of video of a father who was saying, man, listen, you have this woman who's not even working, who's not even freaking working. She hasn't worked in 3 years, man. She is asking for y'all to take more of my money. I have to get 2 jobs, man. Y'all just keep taking and taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. What does that leave me with? Right? So, I mean, once again, you got a man who's out here getting multiple jobs. Then you have this chick who is literally getting a job voluntarily that does not pay as much, right? And now, once again, as you know, a lot of times child support is calculated off of, once again, what you are earning, right? So you're then saying, hey, listen, I'm not earning that no more, so we need to go ahead and dial it back some. No, right? And she used the excuse that, hey, man, listen, the reason I took a pay cut is so I can move down here so I can be closer to my children. All right. So then as you get further and further into the video, she says that, hey, listen, his family used to help me. Now his family isn't there anymore. They're not helping me anymore. So, hey, guess what? That's another reason why I need this pay cut. And what's funny is you're relying on this man's money, this man's family. Go once again, man. And these are the same women, man, that will tell you that they don't need a man, that, hey, I don't need a man to survive. I don't need a man for this. I don't need a man for that. When the case is you do, right? You do. So his whole family said, all right, man, forget it. Let's go ahead and just move on. We're going to go ahead and move on. And like, I mean, as if they are obligated to still take care of you. Like, no. But hey, guess what? She moves down to Texas so she can be closer to her children and she can get that help. Like, it's just sad, man. It's just sad. But let's just go ahead and listen to this excuse.
You took a lower paying job voluntarily to come to work in Dixon so you'd have more access to your children.
Yes, sir.
All right. And what were you making at the prior job?
At my prior job, I was on salary. I think I was making around 840 gross a week before taxes.
Okay. The prior child support obligation was calculated using that income, though?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the only change has been that you voluntarily took a lower paying job?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Powers, anything further?
No, sir, I believe that's everything, Judge.
How is this any different than a man who becomes voluntarily underemployed?
I didn't see any difference, Judge.
There isn't.
But this happened after the fact, after the hearing. This came about, and so.
But you agree that the only change would have been her voluntarily reducing her income, which I understand. I mean, you want to be close to your children, but
Right. He, all of his family moved to Clarksville, where he moved to after our divorce. So I don't have them to help support if anything happens with the children, which is the only reason that I ended up taking a lower paying job, was just for that support for my kids.
all right. Well, thank you. You can step down. You have anything else, Mr. Powers?
No, sir.
All right. I'm going to set aside the findings and recommendations of the child support magistrate and reinstate the original court-ordered child support. And I do that, and I make this specific finding that the only change in this case that occurred was, according to the proof, the fact that the mother took a lower paying job in order to have better access and more opportunities to be with her children. And in this court's opinion, that's a voluntary reduction of her income is identical to a man. If a man was employed at a higher paying wage and voluntarily reduced his income to have better opportunities for the children, which we see all the time, in my opinion, that would not be a basis for the reduction of his child support. In fact, it would be found to be voluntarily underemployed. So I'm just simply finding that there is no basis on those sole facts for the increase in Mr. Don Coos's child support. So I'm reinstating the original order.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I agree with you on that fact,
Right.
but it wasn't something I could
Well,
change after the fact.
I don't blame her for doing what she did. I
Yes,
think
I
she was
don't.
justified in doing it, but the increase in his child support was not justified by anything that he may have done. So, all right, thank you.
Using that man's family after y'all divorced, and no telling the reason why they divorced, but 9 times out of 10, she probably is the one that initiated the divorce, right? But I mean, as you can see, she's one of those manipulative women that's trying to leech off of the government and leech off of men, right? But I mean, you're trying to leech off this man's support system. Once again, the only reason you had the support system is because he was there. Now that he's gone, once again, this is where your women turn into blue jasmine. Oh, well, listen, I still need your support. Even though we still done, you're still going to help me out. You're still going to take care of me and doing all of this extra stuff. It's just sad. It's just sad. This is what we see, man, because at the same time, these will be your so-called feminists. I say, let it go. Just let it go. He doesn't want to be with you. Let it go. Let it go and let his family go. Find it out on your own. Go to your family. But once again, man, you gotta leech, right? And this is what we have allowed women here in America to become very entitled. So let's go ahead and read these comments. Someone says, as a man who had his son turned against him, tricked to see his own father as the devil, then she took my son on a quote unquote vacation and never came back, sent me through a major depression. I'm glad to see another man win. We go through way more than people realize. Once again, a lot of women realize that they just don't care, right? They just don't care, because once they are in that position, they're going to try to pull the same stuff over and over and over. It's just a continuing cycle. And this is why you got to be very careful on who you lay down with. This is why you got to be very careful on who you lay down with. As you can see her get up out the chair. I mean, come on, brother. Once again, man, you got to be very careful on who you lay down with. Someone else says child support system needs an overhaul or reform. Someone else says the fact she is trying to blame the ex-family for moving, like it's their responsibility to help you with your kids. Like, where's your family? Once again, where is your family? Once again, his mother and his father didn't birth you, because if that was the case, y'all wouldn't be together, because that's some weird stuff, right? That's some Alabama Roll Tide type of stuff, right? Alabama Roll Tide. Alabama Roll Tide. Alabama Roll Tide. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all see it. I see it. We Georgia all day. Someone else says, why wouldn't you get a higher paying job if you're losing the support of him and his family being close? Make it make sense. Higher income could help pay for babysitters or additional care, right? So then someone else says, this judge is the most fair judge that I've seen on YouTube when it comes to parents and child support. There have been a few times where I felt he was siding more with one parent, but that was just how I felt. Maybe he wasn't. So someone else says, the judge body language shows how he is pissed off at that lady. She tried to be slick and it backfired. Someone else says, no, this is not typical at all. If the husband/father took a lower paying job for the same reasons, he would be held accountable for child support invoked at the salary rate he received prior to accepting the lower paying job. The states and the courts are all about female bias ruling, and the federal kickbacks of 66 cents to $1 they receive from the child support they invoke. It's important to fully understand the federal program, IVD of Social Security Act, which incentivizes states with reimbursement funds for child support enforcement. So someone else says, how is this fair? if she doesn't have a sitter or someone to pick the kids up daily anymore to accommodate the hours at that job that was paid. First of all, man, once again, it's her job now. Figure it out, right? Figure it out. It's her job now. Now, once again, man, here's the thing, man. Once again, I get it, man. We make all of these videos, man, on the court system, but at the end of the day, like I said, the court system is flawed, right? Now, do I think, humanely, yes, they should lower it, right? To some degree, right? And I'm not even saying, man, crazy to the point, man, where she can still live comfortably. Hell no. Make her ass work. Make her ass work. Make her ass get a nice paying job. Make her ass work. Now, once again, you're talking about she voluntarily took a lower paying job. So no, she should still stay on that. She still should stay on that. But if in the situation where she has to take a lower paying job because she just has no choice, then that's understandable. Still make her ass work, but that's understandable. But this right here, nah, bro, she needs to be paying that. She needs to be paying that. And this is how a lot of women try to use that system and abuse the system. And it's just sad, man. It's just sad. And this is just one judge. This is just one good judge out of 1,000 corrupt judges, man. So look, y'all do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Tell me what y'all think.